everybody, welcome back to Cards by the Hill. My name is Jane Hill. Now today we've got quite an interesting project. We're going to decoupage some napkins onto this ceiling rose. Okay, it's plastic and we're going to use some Mod Podge. But first I want to find a suitable napkin to put on it. That's Christmas again. Got a lot of Christmas napkins, as you do. What's that one? That one's nice. Let's have a look at this. So this was a pack from Amazon. There's some really nice ones in here. Looks like 2 of each picture. Gustav Klimt. Scenery. Oh, that's a nice one. Paintings, blossoms. Oh, they're really stunning, these ones. Another Gustav Klimt. Looks like Van Gogh. And there is Van Gogh. Okay, so I've got some Arteza tempera colours in Snow White. I'm just going to put a coat of it over this ceiling rose. Trying to get inside all the leaves and the flower. I want it to look aged at the end. Might decoupage the centre. But I give it base coat. So I'll probably speed this bit up for you so you haven't got to watch paint dry literally. Okay, so started adding some rust, and that's brown rust effect, but I want to find a sponge. Okay, so started adding some rust, and that's brown rust effect, but I want to find a sponge, so we'll do it with a sponge. In the middle I want to add this blossom, I'm just going to go around the centre. And then take the brush strokes out towards the edge. Okay, and then let it dry. Okay, so here it is nice and dry, and I'm just going to run a scalpel around the edge. Now don't be too alarmed if you cut off too much, because we're going to put a little beading around this bit anyway. So I'm just going to go around the edge nice and slowly. Yes, you can do this bit after you finish doing the what's it called? After you finish putting the decoupage glue on, but I've just left it till afterwards. So you're just going around, just cutting around the edge like that. If it's safer to leave a little piece on in places, then do that, because it's just going to get covered up anyway. And then I'm going to put another layer of decoupage glue on it. Now these ceiling roses are only about £5 off eBay, so you can pretty much get one and do what you like with it to match your room. We're nearly there. Okay, this rust that I've applied, I don't think I'm going to keep there at the moment. I think we're going to paint it and then add the rust, so that might change at some point. The decoupage glue and varnish, there's 2 in 1, is from Viva Decor, and it was from Germany. Kleber and Lack decoupage, Kleber and Lack, I don't know, I'm not German. Okay, so I'm going to add another layer. Oh, let's just take the middle out while we're here. So again, nice and easy, little gentle cuts like that. No pulling. Make sure it's cut before you start pulling at it. There we go. Make sure you've got a mat underneath. Okay, we'll probably put bead around the centre as well. We'll see. Right. So as I said, going to put another layer on. Now this edging is off. Take the strokes out from the middle. And then you can push down any bits that might have come up when you've cut. Then we'll let it dry. Hopefully that gives it a nice shine. So make sure you get all around the edges now, just to be sure they're down. Okay. Right, so now that's got to dry. While that's drying, we'll move on to the next bit. Now the beading we're going to do is going to be from air dry clay, and a mould. So this is the mould here. You can pick these up on Amazon, eBay. Go. Get rid of all this. And we're going to use some air dry clay. Now, air dry clay is pretty inexpensive. I used to buy it at the pound shop. Don't know if you can still get it in there. And what we're going to do is use this lower one here with the circular pattern. Okay, so we take some clay off. Now, I'm no expert in using air dried clay. I've tried it on one of my cards. It came out successfully, I'm happy to say. I think some air has actually got in there because that feels a little bit dry. But you can go on YouTube. There are some exceptionally talented people on there who do air dry clay products and projects, some of whom I do watch. They're just extraordinary. So if you want to see more about that, have a little wander on YouTube. This isn't, I think some air's got in. I did close the pack, but I think some air has got into it. So you need to seal the bag in preferably an airtight pocket or a resealable bag. Otherwise you end up with dry bits like that. Okay, and then work it through your hands for a little bit, just to give it some warmth. And we're going to need a few of these edgings, but we're also going to need one for around the outside. So we have to find one that fits. You're probably aware I didn't paint the outside or do anything to it. Right, so now we can start putting it in. Make sure that it completely covers the pattern. It's a messy task, but it's also a lot of fun. And as I say, some of these YouTubers, some of the things I've seen them make, I mean, it's just unbelievable. So they're well worth looking at if you want to have more ideas, or you want to start a project using air dry clay. And it's such an easy thing to get hold of. So a little piece at a time, we're just pushing it in the pan. And I think we're probably going to need 2 or 3. We'll see how it goes. So first time I've done decoupage on a ceiling rose. I'm glad it came out okay. And that is a plastic ceiling rose, not plaster. So it does work on plastic, as you can see. Right, so fill it in as good as you can get. And then make sure the top is flat. If you've got a cheese cutter, it would be good to just skim off the top to make sure that it's level. Okay. And then once we've got our clay in place, we're just going to pop it out and let it dry. As I say, we're going to need 2 or 3, I think. Okay. I'm always nervous to pop it out because you don't know whether you've put enough clay in. If you overfill it, don't worry too much because you can still sand the extra bit off on the back side here. Most important thing to do is make sure that it's in the pattern. Right. And these are used for icing, these moulds. So the selection you can get is endless. Okay. Hopefully it's down enough. I'm going to put it from the side. Just going to get my poker tool and just ease it down. There we go. Just going to take off the excess while it's wet, while it hasn't set. And that's what I mean, you can just trim it up if you've overfilled it. It's no big deal. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to make a few of those ready to put on the ceiling rows, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've put the beading on. So I used 2.5 lengths. The other bit is just down there, but we can use that for something else. And I've put another coat of the decoupage glue and varnish on, just to keep it secure. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll be back. I'll be back with the next stage. Okay, so we're going to paint the outside edge while it's still drying with Perfect Ideas Metallic Gold. I did want to do it in blue, but I haven't got any. So I'll probably do this, speed it up. I've just tried some Arteza Sky Blue tempera colours, but it didn't really sit well on it, so I think it needs, yeah, it needs although saying that, this isn't really taking very well either. So this might be a couple of coats of this. So I'll add 1 coat to music, and then when that's dry, we'll put another coat on. Okay, so here we are with it so far. Now that has had about 4 coats of acrylic, so beware, you might need to give it a few coats for it to come out well. And it did have a coat of white to start with, so it's had a few coats on it. Now I've gone over the air dry clay trim that we did, but that's not a problem because we're going to colour that anyway with paint or something. I want to do the edging for the outside so it's got time to dry, and for that one we're going to use this one here. So it's the top, not the top one, but the next one down. So we're back with our clay again. And we're going to make a few of these so we can fix them around the edging. And then all I've got to do is paint these and the inside trim, and then decide whether I'm putting rust on it or any gold flakes or anything else. But I'm not sure, to be honest, because it has got a lot of gold on it already, so I don't think it needs gold flakes. I don't even think it needs the rust colour or anything around it, to be fair. I think it's quite nice as it is in gold. And that is going up on the ceiling, so I've got to make a good job of it. Okay, so this one's going to take quite a lot of clay because it's quite deep, and obviously I've got to make enough to go around the outside. So that's the first one. Hopefully there's enough in there. And what I'll do is I'll probably make the rest off camera because you don't need to be watching me make these when you've seen the first one. Okay, so I'm going to prise it off again. With pick stick. There we go. So there's the first one. Okay, so make the rest of them and then come back when they're glued to the ceiling rose. Okay, so here's where we're at. The trim is dry around the edging. The trim is all dry inside. I've added some little bits of clay here and there just to fill in gaps. So I'm going to have to touch that with gold again. And now I'm going in with acrylic paint in green to start going round the beading. Now this is going to need a couple of coats by the look of it. But take your time with these things, there's no rush. If it takes you a week to finish it, 2 weeks to finish it, at least you'll get it the way you want it. So I'm gonna go around and paint that. and then I'll be back to show you the progress. The trim has been put on and painted. The trim inside has been put on and painted. And I've done another coat of gold over the top to touch it up. So all that's left to do is to put a layer of varnish on. And this is going over the decoupage piece. And over everything, just to give it a little shine. And as I say, this is going up on the ceiling. Regardless of how bad or how good it's turned out, I've put too much work into it for it not to go up. And to be fair, for the first time doing decoupage on an item like this, I don't think it's come out too bad. As I say, there are hundreds of people on eBay who do this sort of thing all the time, make some extremely amazing products, and if you get a chance, have a view of those. They really will inspire you. So I'm just going to go around with a coat of varnish. And this is that 2-in-1 again from Viva Decor. It's a 2-in-1 varnish and adhesive for decoupage. So just going to put a coat on. And finish it off. Don't know whether the gold needed it, to be honest, but I'm a bit worried that if it doesn't have it, it might peel off. Now, I haven't got one up in the craft room, so this was going up in the dining room. But if it doesn't look right, it can go up in the craft room. I just want it on show because of how much I've done to it. And these roses I've mentioned, £5 from eBay. If you've got decoupage napkins and glue and varnish, then it's not going to cost too much to make. The paint, the acrylic paint, was from the pound shop, £1 a tube. So it's really cost next to nothing to make. The clay, as I've mentioned before, I bought in the pound shop. I don't know if they do it anymore, but the air dry clay is relatively cheap. So yeah, why not have a go? You can do so much with them. You can match them to the room you're making it for. You can do it in the colours of the room. There is so much you can do with these, and the same goes with the plaster ones. I mean, if you get a miniature plaster one or wood one, which would probably be a lot easier to work with than plastic, I have to say, you know, you can really go to town. So I'm just working it through these little dips that it's got in it. This has got so much detail on it. I don't want the varnish getting stuck in any holes. anywhere, so it doesn't look right. Not sure about this bead in here because it's doesn't seem to have absorbed it very well, but I'll go around with another brush and take off some of it. So yeah, I hope it's given you some ideas. Hope it's inspired you. Try and make one yourself. I mean, they do cost an arm and a leg to buy, especially if they're painted or decorated in some sort of way. You can quite easily make one yourself. And be proud that it's on the ceiling. I'm just going to try and get this trim on the around the edge. Has got a lot of detail and holes in it as well. I don't want the varnish sitting in them. So it doesn't look right. And what I'll do is I'll try and do a little updated video when it's gone up to show you what it looks like on the ceiling. It's only going to be a couple of minutes or so to upload. And if you have had a go at one of these, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. This has taken me best part of 2 weeks to do, but I have made other videos and done other projects in between, and at one point I think I had about 4 on the go at the same time. So yeah, because when you upload every day, you've always got something on the go. Okay, I think that's enough. So this is its final time to dry, and then once it's dry I'll bring it back and show you the end result. Okay then. Okay, so the varnish is still drying, but I am not happy with this edge going around here, so I think we're going to make some more trim out of the beading one, and I'm going to add that to the rose. Now this rose just seems never ending at the moment to me, because I know I've chopped the video down to about 40 minutes so far at this point. It's actually 2 weeks worth of making it. So gonna make some more of these trims with some air dry clay, and I've shown you how to do this at the beginning of the project, so I'm sure you don't need to see me make all of them. So I'm just going to make some more trims, add them on, and then obviously they've got to dry before I can paint them again. And that's part of the problem, of course, is you've got to wait for things to dry, you've got to add more coats to things, so you can't just get on and make it and finish the project in one day. So when you do it, if you do it, don't be disappointed if you can't get it finished as quick as you'd like. I know it can be very frustrating. So what I'm going to do is make enough of these to go around that edging to cover up the join of the other beading that I put on, and then when it's dry we'll come back and we'll paint it. Obviously it's got to be varnished as well. I'm not sure how many coats it's going to need, but we'll work that out when the beading's dry. Alright, so back in with the last coat of Kleber and Lac Viva Decor decoupage varnish, like 2 in 1. It's last coat now and then it's finished. So as you can see, I've been working on it off camera. I added the trim, painted it twice, touched up the trim underneath it, and this is the last coat now, and then finally it's finished. You don't have to put decoupage in the middle, you can just paint it, which will be even cheaper. But I mean, if you have got it in your stash, why not use some up? It does like to sit in these little holes. So yeah, it's taken some time to get it right. Last coat. And then finally it can go up. The only trouble I find with these little beading ones is the lacquer likes to sit in the holes. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this last coat, probably speed it up to music. Here's the final product, all painted, all varnished, ready to go up. And as I say, I'll try and get a little bit of footage when it goes up on the ceiling so you can see how it looks. Okay, I want to thank you for subscribing and liking. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Don't forget, we've got a 50 subscriber giveaway coming up once we reach 50 subscribers. And thank you for your continued support. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.